What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Pastor D. Welcome back to my channel. Hey, it's time for part 3 of how God saved my life. If you have not had the chance yet, or if you found this video first, I want to encourage you, go back, check out part 1 and part 2 of how God saved my life. You don't want to miss it. Check it out. All right, so let's pick it up. All right, so after, I end up leaving Virginia, I end up moving here to Georgia, right? It was about 2013. I came to Georgia, was staying with my aunt for a little bit at the time. And I want to say probably like after, it wasn't even I don't know if it was a full month that I was staying with her. Me and my family was staying with her. That after that time that we stayed with her, we ended up moving out, getting our own place or whatever, right? And so fast forward, I found a job, started working. I started going to the gym, LA Fitness, started playing basketball. I was playing basketball probably like every day. It was definitely one of the most trying times of our lives for me and my family. We had just moved in to our new spot. We didn't really have, the money. We didn't have the stability or anything, but God saw us through. We went from sleeping on the floor to literally having a fully furnished house within, I want to say, probably a year or so. All glory be to God and all praise to God, and even the people that he used. Thank God for the people that were willing to be used by God. That was also a blessing in our lives. But anyways, so I found myself, kind of finding a little bit of stability or whatever like that. And so, like I said, I was probably balling like every day at LA Fitness. And so with that, I end up meeting these two guys there, and I would start hanging out with them or whatever like that. And it really started off really slow. So like we would just basically at first we would just like play ball at the gym. And then it went from that to us, kind of hanging out. Me, like, really it was one of them at first I started hanging out with. And we would like hang out, smoke or whatever like that. And then it went from just like little hangouts to just smoking to now me, him, and then his cousin that we used to ball with too. We started hanging out in like the strip club, and it was probably in the strip club, like I want to say almost dang near every day. Right. So I guess his cousin decided, that he wanted to, make some fast money and whatever, so he started like selling drugs or whatever like that. And so I'm literally seeing like this transformation. You get what I'm saying? Of him going from just being one way to completely being a completely different way. And so anyway, so we hanging out and we doing that, and we was in the strip club every day. We used to go to the strip club. I don't know if it's still open, but it was Follies. So we used to be in Follies like every day. And so I'm hanging out with them, and that was like the normal. The normal was hang out, smoke, play basketball, go to the strip club, or like go to his cousin's house and chill with some of the strippers that were actually like he was cool with, that would actually like stay with him in his house. You get what I'm saying? And so I remember, man, nights like leading up to it, it was my friend, one of the homies' birthdays. And so like nights leading up to it, I'm starting to see more and more what's going on, right? The more I hang out with him and his cousin, I'm starting to see like the more of what's going on. I started to see coke. I started to see his cousin and like the strippers like starting to do like lines of coke, and I'm just like paying attention to everything, starting to see guns and everything come out, right? So I can remember, one day we was all chilling went to chill at his cousin's house. And this was probably, I want to say like a week before the one of the homies' birthdays, right? And so we chilling at his cousin's house, and it's the night where I saw like his cousin got a gun now. So I can remember like us chilling there, drinking and smoking, and then like I just saw the gun on the table. And I can remember picking it up or whatever like that and just like looking at it or whatever and then put it back down. And you would think that in these moments that the red flags are jumping out, right? Because we literally pay attention to every red flag that jumps out. But I'm just like, again, I'm find myself in a place of filling voids, of trying to fill these voids and to try to find some place to belong. I'm in a new place. You get what I'm saying? I really don't know nobody out here or whatever like that. And so I'm just trying to find who my tribe is, who my crew is, right? So anyway, so I'm seeing all of these things, but yet it's still not deterring me from hanging out with them. So another one of my homeboys, set apart from both of them, he used to always tell me like, hey D, he was like, he never really wanted to hang out with them because he kind of felt weird vibes. You get what I'm saying? And so he'd be like, oh yeah, nah, I'm good. I don't want to hang out or whatever. Or I remember one time we all had went out to like a party, and then we was about to go to this club or whatever like that. And that night he was like, after that night, he was like, man, don't ever invite me to hang out with them ever again or whatever like that. He was like, I don't rock with them. Like, I don't rock with them, and it just feels weird. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm just still hanging out with him or whatever. So fast forward, it's the homie's birthday, and we decide we're going to go out, right? We're supposed to hit up this club called the Havana Club in Atlanta. But we couldn't get in because of dress code. So his cousin had a Brazil soccer jersey on. And I thank God every time I see a Brazil soccer jersey, I'm reminded of this night. And I thank God, right? And so we get to the Havana Club. And so we in line. And as soon as we get to the front, about to try to go in, they basically tell us, nah, you can't go in. You can't go in like that. It's a dress code, boom, 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 or whatever, right? So he's like, all right, man, bump it. So we end up going to this other spot. They end up drinking. I was basically the sober one, all right? I was a designated driver. So I didn't drink. And so at this point, him and his cousin throwing back drinks, getting drunk, right? And so his cousin ended up like, hey, D, let's go to this strip club or whatever that's like not too far from here. So I'm like, all right, bet. By this time, my homeboy, I'm talking about he plastered, bro. Like he out for the count. So on the way there, he just like, he's sitting, my homeboy sitting in the back. And he like, D, I'm about to throw up. Or I'm like, hey, bro, make sure you throw up outside the car. Don't throw up in my car. So anyway, we end up getting to the strip club. And where we parked at, it was like a dead end or whatever, right? It was like a loop. It was a dead end. But so we end up parking over like that. His cousin get out, goes into the strip club. I'm chilling out there with his cousin because, like I said, he drunk. He just drunk. So I'm out there chilling with the homie and making sure he good, right? So I leave the homie sitting outside because he was like, just go in, man. Just go in, man. I'll be good. So I lock the car. He's sitting outside the car on the curb, right? And he just throwing up. So I end up going in to go into the strip club to chill with his cousin. So we're in there for a little bit, get a dance or two or whatever like that. And I come back out. I'm like, hey, bro, I'm going to go check on your cousin, make sure he good or whatever like that. By this time, he in there, he kind of, still getting drunk. So I go out, I check on his cousin, and next thing I know, I guess it was like the end of the strip club was letting out. I don't even know. I just know everybody was coming out. So his cousin kind of started feeling like okay again. So he got up and I was like, all right, bro, we about to head out. So I help him get in the car. And when I go to drive around to pick up his cousin in the front, I notice his cousin comes out of the strip club. And when I say it was a pack of people, I'm talking about it was so many people. It was like all these dudes, just crazy amount. And so his cousin is, I don't even know how it happened, but his cousin is in this argument with this female. And I'm just like hucking the horn. I'm trying to get his attention. I'm like, hey, yo, C, hey, yo, we over here. And next thing I know, he's walking to where I originally parked. He's not hearing me or whatever. Remember, he's drunk. So he's not hearing me or whatever. So he goes over there. I hear the dudes say, man, we ain't worried about him. He got on a soccer jersey. And I'm just like, oh man, because the homie, he had just got tatted up and all that stuff like that. And so he was repping where he was from and all that. And he was like pointing, he was like yelling like, yeah, I'm from da da da. And they're like, man, we ain't worried about him, man. Look, man, this dude a clown. He got on the Brazil soccer jersey. He got on a Brazil soccer jersey. So things could have really escalated. And that's why I'm grateful for the Brazil soccer jersey, because if it wasn't for that and they really took him serious, who knows what could have happened. It really could have been like, we probably could have all lost our lives that night, right? So anyways, he don't hear me. He's walking back over there. I'm like, man, so I got to turn around and try to follow him over there, right? So anyways, I get over there and he's walking to the car. And remind you, like I said, now this is like a dead end. It's like it's the only way out is to turn around. But it's like all these cars parked over there, and it's a bunch of dudes standing outside the car smoking, talking, whatever like that. So he's coming to the car, and I unlocked the car for him to get in. And I guess he felt like one of the dudes had said something to him. And so he started yelling out of nowhere, yeah, who you talking to? Da-da-da, who you talking to? Who you talking to? Nah, man, they ain't talking to me like that. They ain't be talking to me like that. They don't know where I'm from. They don't know where I'm from. And I'm in the car, and he goes and he opens the back seat on the passenger side because his cousin is sitting in the front passenger side. So he opens the car in the back of the passenger side, and I'm thinking he about to get in so we can leave. This man reaches in my car underneath the passenger seat, pulls out a Glock. I'm like, I look, because I didn't even know he had the gun in my car. It was an unregistered gun, right? The same gun from that night that I had picked it up and looked at it. And literally, he goes in there, he reaches under the seat, pulls the gun back, cocks the gun back, and he go, nah, they ain't about to be talking to me like that. All I know, I was like, I said, yo, bro, they not talking to you, man. They not talking to you, bro. Get in the car. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And then he looks at me, and I don't know. I know it was God, because this man is drunk. This man want to get into it with everybody. And so he looks at me, and for some odd reason, he heard me. And he goes, D, they not talking to me? They not talking to me? I said, no, bro, they not talking to you. Get in the car. Let's go, bro. Let's go. And he goes, all right, D, I'm going to get in the car. Let's go. So he gets in the car. Man, I'm telling you, bro, I'm literally like shaking, bro. I'm like, oh, my God, bro. Like, this man literally is about to cost us our life. So when he get in the car, I hurry up and I drive off. And the whole way of me driving back to his crib to drop them off, I'm just like, man, bro, like I'm just thinking, and I'm just like, and within myself, I'm like shook, bro. I'm like, what in the world just happened? What just happened? What just happened? And so I get to his crib finally and like let them out. And remember, because he cocked the gun back, there was a bullet in the chamber. So he goes, watch this, D. When he got out the car, he goes, watch this. And when he got out, he pointed the gun to the sky and fired it off, right? So I'm like, yeah, bro, like trying to basically get him out and get him in the house, because like I'm like, bro, I don't even trust him like at this point, right? So his cousin ended up staying with him. Yeah, he could just stay here. He'd sleep it off and all like that. I'm like, I bet. So he got his cousin out. They got in the house. I drove off and I went home. I was like, you know what? Nah, I can't hang out. I should have listened to my other homeboy. Like, I should have just been following the signs, looking at the red flags and everything, right? But of course I wasn't. And that's what, trying to fill voids and brokenness and insecurities and all that stuff do for you. It'll have you even putting your own life in danger and at risk. You get what I'm saying? So anyways, that night is over. The next night, this is a Saturday night. So that next day was Sunday service. And me and my family, we would watch Bishop Jakes. And still to this day, we watch Bishop Jakes. We're e-members for Bishop Jakes Church, the Potter's House in Dallas. So we literally we get up and we're watching Sunday service. And we literally sitting in the living room. And in the midst of the service, my mom goes into like her office spot, right? So she goes into the office, and next thing I know, I'm sitting there and I'm still shook from yesterday. And I literally hear God say, get up, go back there in the office with your mom and begin to tarry, I'm gonna fill you with the Holy Ghost, with the Holy Spirit. I literally get up, I go back there, and I began to start tarrying. And probably no more than like, I want to say no more than like 15, 20 something minutes, I'm speaking in tongues, Holy Ghost filled. And from that moment, I made up in my mind, I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm not hanging out with them no more. That was the last day, the last night that I'm hanging out with them or whatever. And granted, when I would go back to the gym and play ball, because I would still go to LA Fitness to play ball, I saw them like a couple times. I saw, well, him, like my homeboy, not his cousin, not the one that was kind of wild. I didn't see him. But like I saw him, my homeboy, and like we ain't even really get into talking about that night, bro. I just literally, it was like, what's up and passing. And I didn't really want to be bothered. Like after that, I just literally was just like, shook, like turned off or whatever like that. So I was like, yeah, nah, I'm good, bro. Like, I don't want to hang out. I don't want to do nothing. Like, I blocked them and everything like that. I'm like, look, I'm not hanging out. Boom, boom, boom. And so, like I said, I ended up getting filled, and I literally made the commitment that day. I said, look, I'm about to give my life to God. I'm about to stop doing all of this stuff. I'm about to stop hanging out. I'm about to stop doing all this crazy stuff, right? And so I was definitely, you know, on that journey. And I can remember that same day, my cousin, she ended up coming over. So her man had dropped her off, and she came over to like hang out with us or whatever like that. And when she came over, I was talking to her and her boyfriend, because her boyfriend, where they was living at that time, they lived in Bankhead. And so I was talking to her and her boyfriend, and I was telling them about what had just happened the night before. And he had asked me, I can't, and to this day, I cannot remember the exact strip club that we was at that night or the area that we was in, but I knew it at that time, and I told him. And when I was telling him the story, he said, dang, man, he said, God must really love you. He said, because to be honest with you, where y'all was at, y'all was supposed to be killed. Y'all wasn't even supposed to be here. Like, you weren't supposed to be here telling us this story, because that area y'all was in was dangerous or whatever. So I'm like, man, I knew that was nobody but God. And then the way that homie was spazzing out, he was like, yeah, man, God love you because y'all shouldn't be here right now. And so I'm just like, man, when I look back over that, I thank God, because God didn't have to save me, because I wasn't even trying to save myself. I wasn't doing nothing to try to put myself in a better situation or, you know, or to even help myself. I was literally just, like I said, broken, looking for a place to belong, looking for somebody to see me, to validate me. You get what I'm saying? And that's what I want to leave us off with this, is that at the end of the day, you don't need others to validate you. You don't need others to see you. You don't need others to give you worth or value, or to make you feel something that only God can give you and that you can give yourself. Whatever it is that you're going through, don't look to go out in this world and fill voids through people, places, and things. I encourage you to fill those voids with prayer, with God, and getting yourself healed. Because at the end of the day, everything you need is already within you. You just got to believe that. You got to see that. But this is part 3 of how God saved my life again. Like I said, go watch part 1 and 2, because God brought me through some things, man. And I got some more, you know, to share with y'all and everything like that. So definitely more content coming up. More videos going to be created and put out. If you haven't subscribed to me yet, subscribe to my channel. Check out my Bible studies. Check out everything that I got going on this page right here. But share this with somebody that you feel may need it. Like, comment, subscribe. And as always, God bless. Walk it like I talk it, yeah, I walk it. Yeah. Flowers never grow without some water.